Look closely at your hands. For 200,000 years, these biological tools were the primary engine of human survival. We built pyramids stone by stone, we planted crops seed by seed, and we assembled the modern world bolt by bolt. Our entire economic system, our social hierarchy, and our very definition of value are inextricably linked to what these hands can accomplish in 1 hour of labor. We have always built machines to help us. The lever, the steam engine, the robotic arm on an assembly line. But those were tools. They required a human master. They required a script. They were extensions of our will, not replacements for it. But today we are standing at the edge of a precipice that separates history from the future. The era of the tool is ending. The era of the agent has begun. The generative AI revolution gave machines a brain. We saw it with ChatGPT and Claude. They could write poetry, debug software, and pass the bar exam. But they were trapped in a box. They were ghosts in the machine, pure intellect with no way to manipulate the physical world. They could think, but they could not move. They could not fetch you a cup of coffee. Until now, the body has finally arrived. We are witnessing the birth of embodied AI. This is the story of the bot wars. It is a story of how the world's richest men, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Jensen Huang, are pouring billions into a single bet that the marginal cost of labor will soon drop to zero. This is not just a technological shift. It is the rewriting of the human operating system. Welcome to the Fortune Classified. Today, we are declassifying the end of labor. We will explore the terrifying economics of the humanoid robot, the new class war between owners and receivers, and the geopolitical storm that is gathering on the horizon. This is not science fiction. This is the industrial report for the next decade. Chapter 1, The Awakening. To understand why this moment is different, you must understand how robots used to work. For 40 years, industrial robots were dumb. They were blind automatons welded to a factory floor. If you programmed a robot to pick up a box, and that box was moved 1 inch to the left, the robot would grab thin air. It would fail. They were strong, but they were stupid. Enter Figure AI, a company that didn't even exist 3 years ago. They recently released a video that sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley. In the demo, a human simply speaks to the robot. He says, "I'm hungry." There is no code involved. There is no joystick. The robot pauses. It processes the visual data of the table. It identifies an apple. It understands the semantic link between hunger and apple, and it gently hands the fruit to the human. This seems simple to us because we have millions of years of evolution handling hand-eye coordination. But for a machine, this is a singularity. It is called end-to-end neural networks. The robot is not following a rule-based script. It is learning physics in real time. It connects the language model in its brain directly to the actuators in its fingers. It is reasoning with the physical world. This breakthrough is why the capitalization table of Figure AI reads like a who's who of American capitalism. Microsoft, Nvidia, Jeff Bezos, OpenAI. They collectively poured $675 million into this startup in a single round. Why? Why is the founder of Amazon, a logistics company, so obsessed with a humanoid robot? Because Amazon has a problem. They are running out of humans. The turnover rate in logistics warehouses is notoriously high. They need a worker that doesn't sleep, doesn't get injured, doesn't form unions, and doesn't need bathroom breaks. They are not investing in a cool gadget. They are investing in the ultimate employee, an employee that can be duplicated infinitely. And on the other side of the ring, we have Tesla and Elon Musk. Musk calls Optimus, his humanoid robot, the most important product Tesla has ever made. He claims it will be worth more than the car business and the full self-driving business combined. He predicts a future where the ratio of humanoid robots to humans is greater than 1-to-1. That means billions of robots. Chapter 2, The Great Replacement. Let's put emotions aside for a moment and look at the cold, hard economics of labor. This is where the math becomes brutal. In the United States, a human factory worker costs an employer roughly $30 an hour when you factor in wages, healthcare, insurance, and benefits. A human worker has physical limits. They can work roughly 8 hours a day effectively. They need weekends off. They take vacations. They have good days and bad days. Their productivity is capped by biology. Now, look at the robot. Mass-produced at scale, a humanoid robot like Optimus is estimated to cost less than $20,000 to build. If that robot lasts for 10,000 hours of operation, about 5 years of full-time work, its operating cost is roughly $3 an hour. That includes the electricity to charge it. $3 versus $30. A tenfold difference in cost. But the productivity gap is even wider. A robot can work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't need lights in the factory. It doesn't need air conditioning. In the ruthless calculus of capitalism, this is not a choice. It is an inevitability. If your competitor uses labor that is 10 times cheaper and 3 times more productive, you have 2 choices. You automate or you go bankrupt. There is no middle ground. The marginal cost of labor is trending towards zero. And when the cost of labor drops, the cost of goods drops. We are heading toward a massive deflationary epoch. But you might say, I'm a white-collar worker. I work in an office. I'm safe. Are you? The first wave of AI, the large language models, is already coming for the writers, the translators, the coders, and the accountants. Now, the second wave, embodied AI, is coming for the blue-collar jobs, the warehouse workers, the baristas, the construction helpers. We are facing a pincer maneuver. Physical labor is being solved by robotics. Cognitive labor is being solved by LLMs. When both physical and mental labor can be automated, what is left for the average human to sell in the marketplace? This leads us to a profound crisis. Chapter 3: The New Class War. History is a story of class struggle, landlords versus serfs, capitalists versus workers. But the new lines are being drawn differently. In the age of embodied AI, the divide will be between the owners and the receivers. The owners are the ones who possess the capital, the server farms, the robot fleets, the proprietary data, and the energy sources. They own the means of production that require zero human input. Their wealth will compound at a speed we cannot comprehend, detached completely from the human wage economy. And then there are the receivers, the vast majority of humanity, who have no labor to sell that a robot can't do cheaper. This sounds like a dystopia, and it certainly can be. But it also leads to the only logical solution that even the tech billionaires are advocating for: Universal Basic Income, or UBI. This is why Sam Altman is obsessed with UBI experiments. This is why Elon Musk talks about a universal high income. They know what is coming. They understand the macroeconomics better than the politicians. They know that if you replace all the workers, you also replace all the consumers. Robots don't buy iPhones. Robots don't buy sneakers. Robots don't pay income tax. Without a mechanism to redistribute the wealth generated by the robots, perhaps a robot tax, the entire capitalist engine seizes up. The money stops flowing. The economy collapses. So the debate of the next decade will not be about jobs. It will be about distribution. How much of the robot-generated wealth should be shared with the displaced humans? This will be the central political conflict of the 21st century. Chapter 4: Geopolitics and the Terminator Scenario. This technology is not just about economics. It is about national survival. Look at the demographics of the developed world. South Korea, Japan, China, Germany. They are all facing a demographic cliff. Their populations are shrinking. They are running out of young people to work in factories, to care for the elderly, and to serve in the military. In the past, this meant inevitable national decline. A shrinking workforce meant a shrinking GDP and a weakening military. But today, a humanoid robot is the perfect solution. It is the perfect immigrant. It integrates instantly, it follows orders perfectly, it doesn't need a visa, and it doesn't age. Nations that master this technology will solve their population collapse. They will decouple their economic output from their biological population. And then there is the dark side. War. We often imagine the Terminator, a skeletal robot holding a laser gun. But the future of warfare is likely more about industrial capacity than individual combat capabilities. War is a game of logistics and production. If Country A can print 10,000 robot soldiers a day in automated underground factories, and Country B has to train human soldiers for 18 years, who wins? The attrition rate becomes irrelevant for the side with the robots. The war of the future is a war of manufacturing speed. This creates a terrifying instability. The gap between a nation with advanced robotics and a nation without them will be wider than the gap between a nuclear power and a non-nuclear power. It will trigger a new arms race, not for missiles, but for autonomous actuators and AI training data. Chapter 5: The Search for Meaning. If robots do everything, if they grow our food, build our houses, fight our wars, and write our code, what is left for us? What is the value of a human in a post-labor world? We are about to see a complete inversion of job prestige. For the last century, we valued cognitive, logical skills, the ability to calculate, to analyze, to process information. These were the high-value skills that got you a corner office. But AI loves logic. AI excels at calculation. Those jobs are the first to go. Paradoxically, the things we thought were low value, the things that require a messy, inefficient human soul, will become the true luxuries. Caring for the elderly, teaching a child empathy, creating art that speaks to the human condition, cooking a meal with love and intuition. These things are hard to quantify, and therefore hard to automate. We are moving from an economy of efficiency to an economy of connection. In a world of synthetic perfection, the human flaw becomes the premium feature. You will pay extra for a chair that was carved by a human hand, specifically because it has imperfections. You will pay extra for a coffee made by a human barista because you are paying for the smile, not the caffeine. But the transition will be painful. We define ourselves by our jobs. What do you do is the first question we ask at a party. When the answer becomes nothing, or I collect UBI, we will face a crisis of meaning. We will have to redefine purpose away from economic utility and towards human experience. So are we facing the end of the world? No, we are facing the end of the world of toil. Karl Marx, despite his economic failures, dreamed of a world where humans were liberated from labor to, quote, hunt in the morning, fish in the afternoon, rear cattle in the evening, and criticize after dinner. The robots offer us a chance to achieve that liberation, but they also threaten to concentrate power in the hands of the few to a degree never before seen in history. The outcome depends not on the technology, but on the politics. It depends on us. The bot wars have begun. The factories are being built. The neural networks are training. The marginal cost of labor is dropping. You have a choice. You can ignore this and wake up one day to find your skills are obsolete. Or you can understand it, invest in it, and prepare for it. Invest in the companies building the brains and the bodies, the NVIDIAs, the Teslas, the Microsofts. But more importantly, invest in your own humanity. Sharpen the skills that machines cannot replicate. Your empathy, your creativity, your ability to connect with others. The robot is coming. It is already here. It can lift heavy boxes. It can process data. And soon, it will be able to reason better than you. But it cannot dream. It cannot feel. It cannot love. And for now, and perhaps forever. That is your only edge. Use it. This has been the Fortune Classified. We dig deep into the noise to find the signals that matter for your future. If this briefing gave you a new perspective on the coming shift, consider sharing it with someone who needs to wake up. We will continue to track the companies leading this revolution. Next week, we will dive into the specific supply chain of these robots, the actuator makers, the sensor companies, the battery suppliers that will fuel this boom. You don't want to miss that. Don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the algorithm find more humans like us. And subscribe to ensure you are part of the classified circle. Stay savvy, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay human.